Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Rodger, Groovis Games Limited, creator of Dungeon Crusade, and it is always nice for you to join me for these videos. And this is part 3 in the development of the Dungeon Crusade rulebook. And as always, thank you very much for the likes and the comments and just really nice stuff. I love you guys, and I love talking to you about this. It's a very exciting time right now, to be able to create something like Dungeon Crusade. And, we're going to take another look at a bunch of pages in the rulebook. So welcome. I'm very happy that you're here. And let me say first off, more than half the rulebook has been completed, and I anticipate finishing it up within the next few weeks. And then, it's on to manufacturing. How awesome is that? I'm completely relieved and just happy and elated. We're finally at the end of this. So, and I have a lot of stuff planned for you over the summer. Keep you engaged, some fun stuff, the tabletop simulator version of Dungeon Crusade, and some surprise stuff, and so we're gonna have a good time. So let's get into this real quick, okay? This is, of course. Oh, and if you did not check the comment section on Kickstarter or Facebook or wherever you're looking at this, because there's a playlist. So if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, please go check that out, and then come on back here. So this is, as we've shown, this is the cover of the rulebook, or the Crusader's Handbook. The inside cover is going to have all of the heroes of Avalon thus far. So there's the 13 heroes. And so we left off with talking about the quests in the game, right? I think in part 2. So this finishes up, like right here, just finishes up talking about the quests. And then we're going to move into the loot of Avalon. And in Dungeon Crusade, I created 193 pieces of unique loot, and there's 9 different categories, if you will. There's it talks about it right here. There's junk loot in here. There's 20 pieces of junk loot, and I'm gonna keep that a surprise for when junk loot will show up. You never know when it's gonna show up. Then we have gray is starting gear. There's common and uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and fabled gear. And something cool about fabled gear is it's some of the most powerful gear in the game, and it belonged to the characters in the story I wrote for Dungeon Crusade. There's tons of characters, so if you find fabled gear, you're going to be doing good, and it's quite powerful. But if you go to buy it from the blacksmith, if it shows up in the blacksmith shop, expect to pay a very high gold cost for it, because it's good stuff. So this is just a page about the loot, and again, you can see how everything is looking very nice. Formatted, nice structuring. The next page, it talks more about the loot. We get very in depth with it, and these are the charms. There's different charms, and you see they go up from common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. And what's nice is when you do buy a charm, and charms are a little expensive, they're a little high on the gold cost, but they boost many of your hero's attributes. So it's always good to equip your hero with a charm. And here's an example, a breakdown of a loot card. And I want to say too that I don't really like complex games. So while Dungeon Crusade is very girthy and quite massive, I assure you it's very easy game mechanics. It's just I don't think complex games hit the table that much. So while Dungeon Crusade is huge, it's very easy to understand and play. So this is like a breakdown of a loot card. This is a rare piece, and here's the symbols, so you know what you can equip on your heroes, and here what you can equip, and it has to stay to this, what's here. So there's a little bit about the loot, and moving right along, we're going to get into, this is more about the loot. This is underworld artifacts, and I'm not going to talk much about it here, but if you check back a few Kickstarter updates, I break down what underworld artifacts are. They are the most powerful weapons in the game. However, they could be detrimental to your hero. They could consume your hero's soul. So I won't touch on that, but it's a very cool, you got to make a choice if you want to wield this kind of stuff in the game. Okay, then we're going to get into mining and crafting, and this was in the inception when I started developing this game, and it's a very unique and innovative system. I don't think it's in any other dungeon crawl game. But real quickly, the land of Avalon is the land of Avalon, it's very rich with different minerals and precious stones. So what you can do is moonstone and zoltanite are key components to crafting power gems. Moonstone is a very dense, very hard stone, almost indestructible, and the blacksmith can melt that down. Zoltanite, on the other hand, is it's like a crystal-like mineral, and it has no magical properties, but it amplifies magical properties of the 6 precious stones. So by combining different recipes, there's recipe cards I have, you can create power gems to plug into certain gear that your heroes can, wield and wear, of armor and weapons rather. So you're going to have a very good time with the mining and crafting aspect, but you need a pickaxe before you can mine. Very easy system, very fun, and random every game. You'll never know where the minerals will show up. So this goes into talking more examples of it. Then we're going to get into more examples of mining and crafting, and then the 6 warfare types in Avalon. And this was a very big part that I was very passionate about creating, that each hero, monster, and creature are versed in a few of the warfare types. They're weak in others and kind of neutral in other ones. And what that allows is something I call true party building that I think is lacking in a lot of these games, where you have to really create parties of heroes to be victorious. And it came out really nice. The combat system and how to build heroes together and build your heroes, like tweak them out with different gear and power gems. And believe me, you're going to have a field day with, tricking out your heroes. It goes more about the heroes. I break down a hero card here. Again, this is the start of the hero section of the rulebook, and then we get into more of the heroes, their special abilities here, and then finally we finish up with the heroes and afflictions, and we'll probably close out with this. In Dungeon Crusade, it's kind of like a simulation. Your heroes can have rather different afflictions that could affect them. They could be bleeding, and they'll lose blood and lose their health. They could be poisoned, where they're going to lose their essence, feared, confused, raging. And so you can a hero can drink an elixir to cure themselves of affliction. And so that's a little more of the rule book. So guys, I'm at the 10-minute mark. I try to keep this small for you. Love you guys. I'm so happy to say halfway done with the rule book. And I will be back in another week to give you part 4 of this series. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend, a great Memorial Day, and I will be posting more stuff, of course, about Dungeon Crusade. Okay, guys, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon, and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.